Before silver coins glistened in the markets of Kathmandu, life in Nepal was, honestly, very different. People traded goods directly in a system known as barter. A farmer with extra rice might trade his grains for a potter's clay pots. Someone who raised goats could exchange a young animal for woven cloth from a skilled weaver. This system worked well in small villages where everyone knew each other and, their needs were simple. However, it had its limits. What if the potter did not need rice? The farmer would have to find someone else to trade with, making the process slow and complicated. It was a world built on negotiation and immediate exchange, where the value of goods was constantly debated. As communities grew larger, simple barter was not enough. People began to use other items as a form of money. Small shiny shells called cowrie shells, brought all the way from the distant Indian Ocean, were one popular choice. They were lightweight, durable, and hard to find in the Himalayan hills, which made them valuable. People also used lumps of unrefined metal, like copper or bronze, as a medium of exchange. These pieces had value, but they were not standardized. Each time a trade happened, the metal had to be weighed carefully to determine its worth, which required scales and a lot of trust between the buyer and the seller. This was better than barter, but still not a perfect solution for a growing economy. In the valleys and hills of ancient Nepal, different regions used different forms of early money. In some places, specific agricultural products like salt cakes or pressed bricks of tea were used for trade, especially in the remote northern areas bordering Tibet. These goods were essential for survival, so everyone agreed on their value. In the southern plains, closer to India, small, unmarked pieces of metal, known as punch-marked coins from Indian kingdoms, sometimes made their way into local markets. These early forms of currency were a sign of the increasing connections Nepal had with its powerful neighbors, and hinted at the future of money in the kingdom. This patchwork system of barter, cowrie shells, and metal lumps served Nepal for centuries. It was a reflection of a society that was mostly agricultural and made up of isolated communities. However, the world outside Nepal was changing rapidly. Great empires were rising, and trade routes were becoming busier than ever before. The simple methods of exchange that had worked for so long were becoming a barrier to progress. The people of Nepal, especially the merchants and rulers in the bustling Kathmandu Valley, knew that a more reliable and standardized form of money was needed to secure their future prosperity and influence. Nepal has always been located in a special place. It sits right between the vast plains of India to the south and the high plateau of Tibet to the north. This unique geography turned the Kathmandu Valley into a natural crossroads for trade. For centuries, caravans of traders and their yaks or mules made the difficult journey through the Himalayas. They carried wool, salt, and medicinal herbs from Tibet down into Nepal and India. In return, they brought back spices, textiles, grains, and metal goods from the south. The narrow mountain passes of Nepal were the vital arteries that connected these two completely different worlds, making the valley a bustling hub of international commerce. The traders who traveled these routes faced many challenges. The journey was long and dangerous, with harsh weather and treacherous paths. But the biggest problem was often the lack of a common currency. A merchant from India might arrive with Indian coins, but a Tibetan trader might only have salt bricks or silver bars. To make a deal, they had to spend a lot of time arguing over the value of their different goods. They needed to find a form of money that everyone could trust. Silver was the perfect answer. It was rare, valuable, and recognized in both India and Tibet. The growing demand for a reliable currency was becoming impossible to ignore. This strategic position as a trade hub brought great wealth to the rulers of the Kathmandu Valley. They controlled the mountain passes and could tax the goods that flowed through their territory. This income allowed them to build magnificent temples, palaces, and cities. However, to manage this wealth and make trade smoother, they needed a proper monetary system. They saw how the powerful empires in India and the authorities in Lhasa, Tibet, used standardized coins. The Malla kings of Nepal realized that having their own official currency would not only simplify trade, but also be a powerful symbol of their independence and sovereignty. The pressure to create a Nepalese coin grew stronger as trade intensified. Tibetan traders in particular had a huge demand for silver coins to use in their own economy, as they did not mint many of their own. They were willing to trade valuable gold dust and other goods for high-quality silver currency. This presented a massive economic opportunity for the Nepalese kingdoms. If they could produce a silver coin that was pure and reliable, they could dominate this lucrative cross-border trade. The stage was set for a visionary ruler to take a bold step and introduce a coin that would forever change Nepal's destiny. The Malla period, which lasted from the 13th to the 18th century, is often called Nepal's Golden Age. During this time, the Kathmandu Valley was not a single kingdom, but was divided into three rival city-states: Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur. Each was ruled by a powerful Malla king who competed with the others to build the most beautiful city. This rivalry led to an incredible explosion of art, architecture, and culture. The magnificent Durbar squares, with their intricately carved wooden windows and towering pagoda temples, are a testament to the wealth and artistic skill of the Malla era. The kings were not just rulers, they were patrons of the arts. These three kingdoms were often at war with each other, fighting for control over territory and trade routes. But they also cooperated when it was necessary, especially when facing outside threats. The kings ruled with absolute authority, and their power was closely tied to religion. They were seen as divine figures, incarnations of the god Vishnu, and their duty was to protect their people and uphold dharma, or cosmic order. This belief gave them immense respect and legitimacy. The kings made laws, collected taxes, and commanded armies, controlling every aspect of life within their prosperous city-states. The economy of the Malla kingdoms was thriving. It was built on a foundation of fertile agricultural land in the valley, which produced enough food to support a large population of artisans, priests, soldiers, and merchants. The real source of their wealth, however, was trade. By controlling the Himalayan passes, the Malla kings taxed the constant flow of goods between India and Tibet. This trade brought in a steady stream of revenue, filling the royal treasuries with gold, silver, and other precious materials. This wealth funded the construction of the stunning monuments we see today, and supported a sophisticated urban culture. It was in this dynamic environment of artistic competition, political rivalry, and commercial prosperity that the need for a standardized currency became critical. The Malla kings were ambitious and worldly. They understood that to be seen as equals to the great rulers of India and Tibet, they needed their own official symbols of power. A national coin was more than just money. It was a declaration of independence and a mark of a sophisticated civilization. One king in particular saw this opportunity clearly and would soon seize it, ushering in a new era for Nepal's economy. His name was Mahendra Malla of Kathmandu. King Mahendra Malla, who ruled the kingdom of Kathmandu from 1560 to 1574, was a ruler of great foresight. He watched the bustling markets of his city and saw both an opportunity and a problem. Merchants from India, Tibet, and different parts of Nepal were all using different forms of payment. This created confusion, slowed down trade, and opened the door for disputes and unfair dealings. Mahendra Malla understood that a standardized silver coin, issued under his authority, would solve these problems. It would create a single, reliable currency that everyone could use, making transactions faster, fairer, and more efficient for all. The king's motivation was not just economic, it was also political. By minting his own coin, he was making a powerful statement. It declared that Kathmandu was a sovereign kingdom, equal in status to its powerful neighbors. The coin would carry his name and symbols of his kingdom, traveling far and wide along the trade routes. It was a brilliant way to project his power and influence beyond his borders. Furthermore, he struck a clever deal with Tibet. He agreed to supply Tibet with pure silver coins in exchange for gold and silver bullion, which gave him the raw materials needed for minting and secured a massive guaranteed market for his new currency. The introduction of the silver coin, named the Mohar, was a revolutionary step. Before this, the Malla kings did not have a widespread, official currency. The Mohar was carefully designed to be of a specific weight and purity. Each coin weighed approximately 5.4 grams and was made of high-quality silver. This consistency was crucial. It meant that people no longer had to weigh metal pieces for every transaction. They could trust that each Mohar had the same value, which dramatically increased confidence in the marketplace and encouraged more people to engage in commerce. The king had created not just a coin, but a system of trust. The impact of the Mohar was immediate and profound. Trade in the Kathmandu Valley boomed. Merchants could now conduct business with greater ease and security. The royal treasury grew richer from the profits of minting coins for Tibet and from the increased trade taxes. This new wealth allowed Mahendra Malla and his successors to fund even more ambitious construction projects, further beautifying their capital city. His vision had transformed Nepal's economy from a fragmented, barter-based system into a sophisticated, monetized one, laying the financial groundwork for the kingdom's continued prosperity and cultural flourishing. The first silver mohar minted by Mahendra Malla was, well, truly a masterpiece of design, created to inspire trust and reflect the kingdom's identity. It was not just a piece of metal, it was a carefully crafted symbol of royal authority and divine protection. Each coin was struck by hand, which meant that every single one had a slightly unique character. On one side, the coin featured these intricate geometric patterns, often based on a square inside a circle, representing cosmic order and harmony. Right in the center, in elegant Devanagari script, was the name of the king, Sri Sri Mahendra Malla, making it absolutely clear who issued the coin and guaranteed its value. The other side of the coin was dedicated to religious symbolism, which was, deeply important to the people of Nepal. It often featured a trident, or trishula, the weapon of the powerful Hindu god Shiva, symbolizing protection and power. Another common symbol was the sword, representing the goddess Taleju, the protective deity of the Malla royal family. These symbols were instantly recognizable to everyone and connected the coin to the divine powers that watched over the kingdom. This fusion of royal and religious imagery really assured the public that the currency was blessed, legitimate, and trustworthy. The text on the coin was also significant. Besides the king's name, the coins were inscribed with the date of their minting, recorded in the Nepal Sambat calendar. This was, honestly, a remarkable display of transparency, allowing people to know exactly when the coin was made. The legends on the coin often included phrases that invoked blessings or dedicated the coin to the king's patron deity, further reinforcing the sacred nature of the currency. The script was clear and beautifully rendered, a testament to the skill of the Malla artisans and die cutters who created the molds for the coins. But perhaps the most important feature was the quality of the silver itself. Mahendra Malla knew that for the coin to be accepted, especially in Tibet, its purity had to be unquestionable. The mohar was made from nearly pure silver, which gave it a bright, distinctive shine. People could test the coin's authenticity by its look, feel, and the clear, high-pitched sound it made when struck. This commitment to quality ensured that the mohar quickly gained a reputation as a reliable and valuable currency, eagerly sought after by merchants from Lhasa to Patna. And, the coin's design was so successful that its basic elements were copied by later kings for over 300 years. The silver mohar quickly became the backbone of the Nepalese economy, transforming how people lived, worked, and worshipped. In the bustling markets of Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur, the coin made daily transactions simple. A farmer could sell his produce for a few mohars and then use that money to buy tools, cloth, or salt. Artisans were paid in coins for their skilled labor, and landlords collected rent in the form of silver mohars instead of a portion of the harvest. The coin standardized the value of goods and services, creating a more stable and predictable economic environment for everyone, from the wealthiest merchant to the humble laborer. The mohar also played a central role in the state's administration. The Malla kings used the currency to manage their kingdoms more effectively. Taxes on land, trade, and property were now collected in silver coins, which were easier to count, store, and transport than goods. This money was then used to pay soldiers, fund public works like irrigation canals and bridges, and maintain the royal court. The temples, which were major centers of social and economic life, also benefited. Devotees made donations in mohars, and the temple trusts, known as guthis, used this wealth to pay priests, purchase materials for rituals, and organize grand religious festivals that were central to Malla culture. The most significant impact of the mohar was its role in international trade, particularly with Tibet. The Tibetan economy had a huge appetite for silver currency, and the Nepalese mohar became the de facto currency in Lhasa and beyond. Tibetan traders eagerly exchanged their gold dust, wool and salt for the pure, well-made Nepalese coins. This arrangement was incredibly profitable for the Malla kings, who controlled the minting process. They would import silver bullion, mint it into mohars, and export the coins to Tibet at a significant profit. This trade locked the two economies together and made the Kathmandu Valley an indispensable financial center for the entire Himalayan region. The popularity of the mohar in Tibet was so great that it became an integral part of Tibetan life. The coins were used for everything from buying everyday goods to making religious offerings in monasteries. They were so trusted that for many years, the Tibetan government did not feel the need to mint its own large-scale silver currency. The Nepalese mohar was known in Tibet as the Mahendra Mali. This widespread acceptance beyond Nepal's borders cemented the coin's status as a major regional currency and brought immense prestige and wealth to the small Malla kingdoms, allowing their golden age to shine even brighter. Following the groundbreaking success of Mahendra Malla's mohar, the subsequent Malla kings of Kathmandu, Patan and Bhaktapur all began to mint their own silver coins. The rivalry between the three kingdoms extended from the battlefield and temple construction to the mints, Each king wanted his coins to be recognized as the most beautiful and pure. While they largely followed the original design, with the king's name, date, and religious symbols, they introduced subtle variations to make their coins unique. This competition led to a period of remarkable artistic creativity in numismatics, with each new ruler trying to outdo the last. One of the most notable innovators was King Pratap Malla of Kathmandu, who ruled from 1641 to 1674. He was a great patron of the arts and a scholar, and his coins reflected his diverse interests. Pratap Malla introduced coins in different shapes, including square and octagonal mohars, breaking from the traditional round format. He also inscribed his coins with poetic titles for himself in multiple languages, including Devanagari, Persian, and even Tibetan, to showcase his worldliness and appeal to the diverse merchants passing through his kingdom. These changes made the coins not just currency, but also miniature works of art that communicated the king's power and intellect. The kings of Patan and Bhaktapur also left their mark on the silver mohar. Siddhinara Singha Malla of Patan, a deeply religious king, minted coins with more elaborate Hindu symbols and longer devotional inscriptions. In Bhaktapur, the kings focused on maintaining the coin's high silver purity, which reinforced their reputation for quality and reliability. However, this period of competition also had a dark side. Some rulers, in times of economic hardship, were tempted to debase the currency by mixing the silver with less valuable metals. This practice, when discovered, damaged the coin's reputation and caused diplomatic tensions with Tibet, which relied on its purity. Despite these occasional issues, the Malla-era mohar remained the dominant currency in the region for over 2 centuries. The basic formula established by Mahendra Malla, a high-purity silver coin with clear royal and religious markings, proved to be incredibly resilient. The constant production of coins by the 3 Malla kingdoms ensured a steady supply for both local and international trade. This long period of monetary stability was a key factor in the sustained prosperity of the Kathmandu Valley. The legacy of the Malla mohar was so strong that it would continue to influence Nepalese coinage long after the Malla dynasty itself had fallen. In 1768, a new chapter in Nepal's history began. Prithvi Narayan Shah, the ambitious king of the small hill state of Gorkha, conquered the Kathmandu Valley, defeating the last Malla kings and unifying Nepal into a single, larger kingdom. As the founder of the Shah Dynasty, he understood the importance of controlling the economy and the currency. One of his first acts was to take over the Malla mints and begin issuing his own silver mohars. He continued the tradition of minting high-quality silver coins because he knew that maintaining the trust of the people and the Tibetan traders was essential for his new regime's stability. The early Shah kings largely maintained the weight and purity standards of the Malla mohars, and the designs also remained similar. The coins featured the name of the Shah king, the date, and the familiar Hindu symbols like the sword and trident. This continuity was a deliberate strategy to ensure a smooth transition and prevent economic disruption. However, as the Shah kingdom expanded, the administration of the currency became more centralized. Instead of 3 competing mints, there was now a single state-controlled system for producing money for the entire nation, which brought greater uniformity to the coinage. The 19th and early 20th centuries brought significant changes. As Nepal's relationship with British India grew closer, new technologies and economic pressures began to influence its currency. The traditional hand-striking method was gradually replaced by modern minting machinery, which produced more uniform and perfectly round coins. Under the Rana regime, which held de facto power in Nepal from 1846 to 1951, the designs became more standardized. The coins began to feature the name of the Rana Prime Minister, alongside the king's, reflecting the political reality of the time. The era of unique, artistic, handmade coins was coming to an end. The final chapter for the traditional silver mohar was written in 1932. The government of Nepal decided to modernize its currency system completely by moving away from the silver standard and introducing a new decimal-based currency, the Nepalese rupee, which was divided into 100 paisa. New coins made of cheaper metals like nickel and bronze were introduced for everyday transactions. This reform officially ended the nearly 400-year-long reign of the silver mohar as Nepal's primary currency. While silver coins were occasionally minted for commemorative purposes later, their role as the lifeblood of the nation's economy was over, marking the end of a great numismatic age. The story of the silver mohar is the story of Nepal's journey from a collection of medieval principalities to a unified nation. Its importance goes far beyond its monetary value, leaving a deep and lasting mark on the country's history, culture, and identity. The mohar was born out of a need to facilitate trade, but it grew to become a powerful symbol of Nepalese sovereignty. For centuries, the small shining silver disc announced to the world that Nepal was an independent kingdom with a sophisticated culture and a thriving economy, capable of holding its own between the giants of India and China. A brief timeline highlights its incredible journey. In the centuries before 1560, Nepal relied on barter and non-standard currencies. Then, around 1560, King Mahendra Malla introduced the first silver mohar, revolutionizing trade. From the 16th to the 18th century, the Malla kings of Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur competed to produce beautiful and pure coins, leading to a golden age of numismatic art. In 1768, Prithvi Narayan Shah unified Nepal and continued the mohar tradition. Finally, in 1932, the mohar was officially replaced by the modern Nepalese rupee, ending its long reign. This timeline shows a currency that adapted and endured through immense political change. Today, the silver mohar is a prized collector's item and a tangible link to Nepal's glorious past. These coins are miniature historical documents. They tell us the names of kings, the dates of their rule, the deities they worshipped, and the artistic styles of their time. For historians, numismatists, and archaeologists, mohars provide invaluable evidence about the Malla and early Shah periods. They help us understand the economic relationships between Nepal and Tibet and chart the evolution of Nepalese art and script. Each coin is a small piece of a much larger puzzle, helping us reconstruct the history of the Himalayan region. In conclusion, the silver mohar was far more than just money. It was an engine of economic growth, a tool of statecraft, a canvas for artistic expression, and a symbol of national pride. It facilitated the trade that brought wealth to the Kathmandu Valley, funding the creation of the magnificent temples and palaces that still stand today. It established Nepal as a key player in the Trans-Himalayan trade network and projected its influence far beyond its borders. Though it no longer circulates as currency, the legacy of the silver mohar is etched into the very fabric of Nepal's history, a shining testament to the vision and ingenuity of its people.